it's MK, and I am here with a messy Monday on a Thursday layout for you guys, and I am playing along with May I Scraplift You, and today I am lifting Stephanie Olsen. I had so much fun not doing what she did on her layout, basically. I am also using photos from Scrappin' on a Ship. These are the two different sprays, because we are still on sprays this month for May. And these are the two sprays that I am going to be using for this particular layout. I also have a bunch of orange elements that were left over from our actual cruise kit. So these are all leftovers. And same with these rub-ons. Everything here except for the acetate leaves are leftovers from the original cruise kit. So here again is Stephanie's layout that I will be lifting for today, and I'm just basically going to show you guys the properties of the oxide sprays. That's all I'm going to be doing. I have 3 photos. I'm going to try to use this rub-on. I say try because I'm going to put it on this dark background. I also have this amazing little set of embellishments that were created by the paper snob here on YouTube, which is Tara. I love Tara. Thank you so much. But truth be told, Tara, they're not going to stay like that. I'm just saying. They're not. I also have this 8x6 piece of paper. Again, this one is not from the original cruise kit. It is from an extra that I had on hand. I'm going to mount my photos with it. And then here is this acetate leaf package that I'm going to be using throughout my layouts, right? Because I've already used up all the ones from the cruise kit. I just had an extra package. And then I'm going to be using this wood grain from Echo Park from the Spooky collection as my background. So they are journaling cards on the back. It is totally Halloween, but the front is amazingly wood grain. I love it. Always look out for those wood grains, you guys. No matter what the collection is, the wood grains are fabulous. And nowadays you can pretty much buy any wood grain as or any sheet of paper by itself. I think it's very rare that you have to buy a whole collection to get 1 or 2 of the sheets that you like. Okay, so I was just explaining to you guys which direction my wood grain was going to go based off of my photos. My photos have linear lines on them. And if I were to put the wood grain up and down, I think that it would just become one of those stopping points, like like the flow of the layout was not going to be continuous because my photos are going one way and the background was going the other way. So I'm going to have my wood grain go in the same direction as my photo, as the linear lines in my photos. So anyways, went ahead and cut my photos out, put them on the backing, and now I'm just going through these acetate pieces to try and find the ones that I want. And I am picking out all orange, and what I do is some of the leaves look like they match, right? And they have the same texture and everything like that. So that's what I was looking for. And for me, because I cut out the leaves that are tucked behind things, I don't need as many as you think I do. So I only pick out 1 or 2 leaves because I know if a leaf is going to be covered by something, I'm going to cut it out and use it somewhere else. And then it helps me extend my pack. So I'm going to go ahead. I think that's cool that Tara put her QR code on the back for her Instagram. That is so cool. And then, of course, I'm going to try to figure out how, envision where my photos are going to go, but I'm not going to outline them because of the fact that it's super dark. I probably won't be able to see it in the first place. And this technique, it's not really even a technique. It is just the properties of the oxide sprays, basically. So one of the things that you have to keep in mind with the oxide sprays is you really, really need to shake them up. There is a bunch of stuff down at the bottom, and I don't know the chemically compounded structure of these sprays. I just know that if I leave any of that stuff down at the bottom, they do not work as well as if I shake it up really well. Another thing about spraying with sprays is you always want to take some sort of scrap and know what the spray pattern is, because sometimes they're half moons, sometimes they're circles like this with holes in the middle, sometimes they are like giant splatters. I mean, you never know what you're going to get. So I always keep a scrap on hand so I can spray and see what the spray comes out looking like. And then I know how to use it, right? So another thing too is that when an oxide dries, it's like paint, right? It dries slightly different than the other set. But these oxides also oxidize immediately. So they are not going to look as vibrant as they do in the bottle. As soon as they touch whatever it is that you're using, whether it's chipboard or wood or paper or anything, they are going to slightly change color. So for this one, I had to layer on top of layer on top of layer to get the color I was looking for, and then also to get the brightness that I was looking for. The orange one, I had to spray on top of the lighter one in order to get it to show up and shine through my layout, which I'm okay with, but it is just something that I have to remember to do because of the fact that they are soaking in, and then you're just seeing the oxidization staying on top. Also, because the oxide sprays feel chalky to me, I use just a rag to wipe off the chalk before I go to glue my papers on, because I feel like the glue sticks to that chalk and then all my stuff falls off the paper. So I just take a rag and I wipe it off really quick. None of the color actually comes off, and none of the chalkiness comes off either. It just makes me feel better about myself when I wipe down all of that chalkiness or that chalk feeling before I glue everything down. I don't know why it does that. All right, so, and I also use tear and tape because, again, I am putting my pictures on a product as opposed to on just a piece of paper. So I always use tear and tape when I am trying to get my papers or anything to stick to product at all. So I just keep a stack of tear and tape handy. All right, so I have this palm tree and this really cool gear. I decided to go ahead and take that off of this netting so that way I could cut this netting apart and use it in several different places. So I'm going to put a little bit of that netting back behind that palm tree because I felt like it needed to be there. But then I'm going to make a border with the rest of the palm tree, or with the rest of this netting down along the bottom, just like Stephanie has. She's got a strip of paper down at the bottom, and then she's got a strip of paper going up. Well, my strip of paper going up is going to be this palm tree with a couple other pieces of other elements. And then I have my netting down at the bottom. And then, of course, I'm going to bring in some more elements as well with just the netting. I'm going to be adding a little bit more. I'm not going to just call the netting, here we go, that's my strip of paper. And although it would have definitely worked. I have this one little tag here. I don't even remember what it says, explore your world or something like that. At first I was going to rip my paper, and then I thought, oh, I don't know if I can because I don't know if it's going to come out even. I know this paper has to stretch all the way across the bottom part of my photos. So I'm definitely going to end up doing something a little different because I need, I don't have enough. Like that probably would have worked. If I would have scooted that orange piece of paper over, I could have left it and called it good, but I really wanted it to be longer. So what I'm doing is I'm taking my little strip and I'm just cutting it down and cutting it and making it work for me. And then I'm going to match the two pieces up. So that way I have what looks like one long strip of orange paper. Then I'm going to take the rest of it and add it to the top. So there's my the rest of my paper going up, right? So I'm enhancing my palm tree with my paper, and then I added a little bit more to it because I don't have all the little swirly bits and things that Stephanie used on her layout. So I'm just using my paper and adding all of this orange. I thought this orange it was a really great add-on to this dark brown. I just really like how it looks, and my photos pop right off the page. I'm going to tuck some butterflies here and there and everywhere. This says our favorite place because I believe this was Costa Maya. I believe that this is just us getting off of the boat, and we ran into this really cool I'm not even sure what this caged area is, to be honest, but it was super cool. So we took a bunch of pictures. Everywhere that we went in Costa Maya, there was this really cool, lots of photo opportunities just right off the dock, that we really enjoyed a lot. And then of course, the ruins were my favorite part of the whole trip, you guys, minus the classroom time. But at each port, there's a favorite, right? And mine, no doubt, was the ruins. I was definitely not disappointed in any of that. All right, so here I'm going to put this Travelers. For one, it did not like sticking to the oxide, so that was my bad. And then for two, it looks better on camera than it does on person. I'm just going to say it did not show up at all. I was really, really disappointed. As you can see, I'm peeling up some of the chalkiness on my background. Yeah, I just was really disappointed. So I pulled out these thickers and I'm going to go ahead and scrunch them together and make them look a little wonky. And go ahead, and I started with in front of the bracket, hoping that my letters would fit, but they end up being a little bit too wide. And so I cover up the second bracket, in all honesty, which I am fine with. I am A-okay with the orange in the background. I actually like how this looks, and I'm super stoked with how that ended up looking. I have one more butterfly that I'm just going to tuck behind this little cluster here. Again, just trying to use up the butterflies where I can, where I feel like they look good. And then, of course, the rub-ons. I'm trying to use up all the rub-ons as well. So I've got a lot of these little compass roses that I thought would look kind of cool in some of the journaling spots, but also to, just randomly peeking out here and there. So I'm going to go ahead and just place those there. Super excited when I can finish off rub-ons and things like that. So anyways, that is my layout for today. I had a blast. I love using these sprays. Sometimes they don't turn out the way that you want them, but the more you keep adding to your layout and putting the things over your sprays, it actually enhances what you've got going on. And I love that about any kind of spray, you guys, really, but especially the oxide sprays, because the more you layer it on top, the more definition that you're going to get from those sprays. All right, you guys, thank you so much for hanging out with me today. I really, truly appreciate it. Stephanie, thank you for allowing me to lift you today. I had a blast. Don't forget to check out the links down below for May I Scraplift You, as well as I have a playlist for Messy Monday, but Janet Fritz is also playing along with me for Messy Monday, so don't forget to check out Galaxy Girl Creations, which is her YouTube channel, and see what she is doing and how she uses her sprays. I would say today, but it might not be today. It might have been Monday when she was actually supposed to do it. I'm not sure. All right, you guys, again, thank you so much, and I will check y'all later. Bye.